I hosted my very first live event here in Houston, Texas, and I want to tell you how it went. Now, I'll be honest, I was very nervous about trying to host an event, thinking that maybe people wouldn't register and then maybe people wouldn't show up. So it was like I had all the feels when it came to hosting my first live event. And so today, let's talk about it. So, welcome back to another episode of the Keenya Kelly podcast, where we talk about all things Keenya Kelly, business, marketing, life, therapy, dating, and all the things. Today is more of a business podcast because we are talking about the live event that I just hosted. Now, when I say live event, I don't mean like corporate marketing event. I don't mean that. I mean in the sense of I got a space, I promoted it, I showed up, and people showed up. That's what I mean. Okay. So, first, let me tell you why I decided to do this. Okay. First things first, I obviously, I relocated back to Houston in at the end of May this year. And it's lonely, right? Because when you run a business from home, you don't have any coworkers, you don't have any team members. It's just you in the house all the time. And the only reason why you have to leave the house is for groceries, right? Or to run an errand, especially when you relocate, because I've been gone for 5 years. So it's not like I have this huge system of people that are like waiting to welcome me in, if that makes sense. And so, because of that, I knew very early on that I wanted to do something that was going to help me connect with people, help me to meet people, help me to do all the different things as it pertains to getting out of the house and all that. But I also knew that as a business owner and a creative, that I wanted to connect with people that I serve, on a regular basis, that they are connected to me on social and we have never met in person before or whatever. And I wanted to connect with my community. But also, I know that one of my biggest dreams that I've had for the longest time is I want to host really large conferences. Okay. Really large conferences where I'm not just teaching them business, but I am walking through journeys for them as a whole person because I am a very whole person focused type of consultant. So I don't want you to just make a bunch of money. I want you to be healthy, right? I want you to go on this journey of like to where when you have money, you're able to enjoy it, right? You're able to have friends and you're able to have peace in your mind, body, soul, spirit, and all those types of things. So I really want to host those type of events. But I know that you can't host a big event until you've had a small event. That's just the name of the game. Nobody comes to the big ones until you first do the little ones, right? And so I said to myself, I want to be able to do all these things, and it's all going to start by me saying, I'm going to host my very first one. So the process that I actually went through was first things first, I just posted on Facebook and I said, I want to host my very first live event in Houston and I'm nervous about it. Does anybody know what I should do? And someone messaged me from Church Space. Day, one of the co-founders of Church Space, messaged me and said, we have spaces, lots of different spaces where we churches will put. It's kind of like Airbnb, but for churches in empty space, where they put their service, their churches on this space, and people can go and they can rent out spaces for certain days of the week, certain times, for certain amounts of money, and whatever. Which is an amazing strategy or like business model. And so we were talking, and she was sharing me about some different spaces, and I said, okay, well, let's try it, let's just do it together, right? And so I chose space, and then I signed a contract with them, and then I started to promote. I had my team design a very simple website. We did a very simple graphic, and then I started to just create content. I sent an email. I talked about it on live stream. I talked about it in my stories. And then I got the idea the week before and said, let me just do a reel and see what could happen. And so I did a reel, and the reel like took off, not viral, but it took off in a way where it started to reach people. Took that same reel, posted it on Facebook, posted on YouTube, and I posted it on TikTok, and we posted it on Threads. And slowly but surely, people started saying, hey, I want to come. And we ended up with 60 something people registering for this event. Now, I also understood that my initial intention was just to meet people, right? But the closer the event got, I was just like, wait, people are not going to come just because I want them to come, right? And when they get there, I've got to give them something to do for 2 hours, right? I was like, this has got to be intentional. And I was like, oh, shoot. Now, I had previously already like spoke with Go High Level, which is they sponsor the podcast, and they sponsored the event where they gave us a bunch of different t-shirts, quality t-shirts for everyone. They gave them 30 days free to try the software. Opus Clips gave us 30 days free to try their software. I had water bottles that I had previously ordered. And so I said, okay, I got some gift bags from Amazon, stuffed them with all the different things. And then I started telling everybody, hey, I've got gift bags for the first 30 people if you get there early. And then I was like, well, what are they going to do? And so I had this, obviously, Holy Spirit gave me an amazing creative idea. And the idea was to do bingo, creator bingo. And so I went into Canva and I just put some different things in the bingo. And then I went to FedEx and I printed it. And so I was like, okay, so we're going to do creator bingo. We'll all chat, all the things. And then I'm going to encourage everybody to create content. So in our emails, we were telling them, hey, bring your tripod, bring this, bring that, because you're going to record some content. Okay. So then I said, all right, get there a little bit early so that I'm all set up and all the things. I brought in my big pail with ice for water so everybody can have water to drink. And then I had stopped by the store and got like some little candies and fresh breath, all the type of stuff. And so I got there around 6:20 and somebody was already there. Somebody who said, I took off work to come to your event. And I was like, what do you mean? You took off to come to see me? And she was like, yeah, I mean, I could have like cried right then and there because I was just like, wow, like whatever it is that I'm doing made her feel like I was worth taking the time off for. Does that make sense? Like, I guess it's kind of a foreign concept to me, but that made me feel very honored and also made me feel humbled and responsible, which is not a bad thing. It's just the truth of how I felt. And so she helped me unpack my car, which was so helpful. And then once we got inside, someone else showed up. Antoinette showed up and she was like, hey, I came to help. And I was like, oh my God, there's 2 people here to help me. And they just started to help me get unpacked and do all the things. And then people started to show up. And then we just kind of was in like a semicircle, just all talking, whatever. And I was like, okay, all right, now it's time for us to play bingo. And I look at the time and it's 7:01. The event started at 7. Everybody had arrived by like 6:45. And so I said to them, why are all y'all here so early? And they were like, well, you said to get here early to get our gift bags. It's like, oh, I did say that. But it just blew my mind that all these people were already there and we were all just talking, getting to know each other. I opened up and allowed them to ask any kind of questions. And then we went into bingo. And everybody was just doing their thing, just trying to win bingo. It was so fun watching them just try to win bingo. And people were connecting, talking, and most of them weren't even talking to me at that point. They were just connecting with each other. And so then, at the end, people were creating content. I'm sitting down talking to people and we're just talking and all the things. And I said to many of them, I'm like, listen, I know you guys came here for me, but I also came to make friends. I said, I really want to make friends. I was like, I don't want people just like meeting me because I teach you social media. I literally want to develop some relationships. So some of you guys, I'm like, send me an email. Let's all get together and have lunch, dinner, or something like that. And then people started to do so. So now, like today's Tuesday, Friday, I'm having dinner with like 3 other girls that came to the meetup, which was amazing, And I told them, I said, I'm not looking to answer any questions about business. I just want to develop some friendships. And this is how I'm starting to do this. So I just want to set that expectation of, I just want to connect in that way. And they were like, cool, so that's happening. So when I look at like, how did my event go? Me personally, I felt like it went amazing because I just wanted to connect with people and connect people to people, right? I met the owners of Church Space. I met the owners of the space that I actually contracted, which was amazing. And then I ended up going to a networking event the next day at that space and connected with them a little bit deeper. But more importantly, the way I feel is I feel very proud of myself. Okay. Cause like, yes, the event happened and all that, but I feel empowered. I feel bold. I feel brave. I just feel very proud of myself for like acknowledging the fact that one, I'm alone. Okay. Number two, that I don't want to be alone. And three, that there are ways to connect with people that I can have some control over if I put myself out there and allow myself to be vulnerable, because it was easy for me to just be like, oh, I'll be at home. I'll just go when someone invites me to something. Right. But instead of doing that, I said, I'm going to go and be brave and I'm going to do this, on my own. And I'm just really proud of myself. No matter how many people actually showed up, I'm just really proud that I chose to take a risk, to try to do something I had not done before, do it well, and watch people kind of respond to what it is or what it was that I wanted to do, right? And so now what I'm doing is I'm working on hosting an event at the end of this month, which is more of a teaching event where people would pay like maybe $10 or $15 to come to the event. And the whole purpose of them paying is to help pay for the space and then have snacks and all that type of stuff for everybody. And I want to actually do an event where I'm talking about social media, marketing, building a brand online, things of that nature. And then do another one in September, maybe another one in October or whatever. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But it's my way of trying to continue to serve my community, continue to serve my own heart by connecting with people, and allowing people to invite other people that they think I should know and connect to and be friends with, because I'm like, again, I'm about a well-rounded type person. Like, yes, there's me, the business people. There's just me who likes to cook, who likes a game night, who likes to shop, who is single. That's, I'm like, go to church. There's this me, you know what I mean? And I'm just saying to myself that like, I'm going to keep doing this thing and we'll just see where it goes. Like, I don't have any strategic intention this is going to build my business. No, it's more so for me to build the community, build people. And then as a result, I think it's going to turn into other things over time. But right now, my intention is I'm just trying to meet people. And as I meet people, it's going to flourish into other things. But more than anything, I'm just really proud of myself for choosing to do it, choosing to take the risk, put myself out there, and then just kind of watch, what happens. So, yeah, I just wanted to share that because it was scary for me to put this on. It was a little overwhelming at times, realizing that I don't know what's going to happen, if anybody's going to come or not, all the things. But I'm really thankful to God for church space and for people just choosing to show up. So if you're in Houston and you want to connect, send me a message. I have plans to go to a church with Aggie Luna. I'm having, again, dinner with people on Friday. I got another girl who I've known of her for years, and now we're connected. And I'm like, oh, girl, let's go out, So it's like all these little things that will happen and can happen, So I just want to share that. Again, if you're in Houston, let's connect. I want to make friends, obviously business stuff or whatever, but just friends or whatever. If you're not in Houston and if you ever want to come, I can let you know in advance if you want to come out. I'll let you know which one to come to. I don't want you to just come in for like a regular meetup, flying in and hotel. We're not going to do that. All right. Okay. So that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel, like the video. That's how we're going to be discovered more. I really appreciate that. If you have any questions, please ask in the comments. If you are listening, please hit subscribe to the podcast. That way you can always be notified every time we have a new episode, and write a review.